Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday. Yes, I hope you enjoyed the best of Student of the Gun yesterday on Labor Day. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, I'm not really sure what to say to you. You probably didn't listen. Wouldn't you say that's right, Jared? If they didn't enjoy it, it's probably because they didn't listen.
Yes, that is true.
I asked him a question and the microphone was not by his mouth. Put the microphone by your mouth. Put the boogie in your butt. The boogie in your butt. Put the boogie in your butt. What? What is this guy on the radio talking about? What is this guy on my phone talking about? I don't know. How did I get here? Calm down. It'll be okay. I promise.
We're going to talk about 22 plinking today, just in case you guys wondered.
22 blinking 22s. What's wrong with that? I like blinking 22s. I'm going to plink. I like to plink 21. Or did he say Blink 182? I'm not down with that hipster stuff.
Blink 182. Really? Wow, that's like circa 1922.
They just put out a new album.
What?
Yeah,
They're still together?
Yeah, well, they weren't, but now they are again. They weren't, but now they are again. You need to listen to the radio.
I don't do that.
That's right. You don't listen to the radio. That's why you don't know. But welcome to Student of the Gun Radio, where anything goes. I guess that could be the title of today's episode. Anything goes.
December 9th, 2015.
Ha 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 ha.
That was like a year ago.
Well, they've got a new single, and they've been playing it on the radio. So shut up.
They're touring apparently.
They're touring. Are they going to take it all? Did you see the poster for the Pop Evil Take It All tour that they're on now?
No.
Oh, you haven't? It's actually kind of cool. What they did is the artist made them all into superheroes. He took each one of the band members and they put them in a super suit, and it's kind of like the beginning of the Justice League, where they all run towards the camera together and like ah, and so everybody in the band has their own super suit, and they put Dorito in a yellow super suit with a big M on the chest. And what's funny is I saw that Pop Evil's their media people, their social media people shared that, and so I texted Dorito. I was like, dude, I like your super suit. And he wrote back, he's like, what? I said, your super suit. He's like, oh, I didn't even realize that was public yet. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, thanks. Your super suit. I want a super suit. Actually,
I'm looking.
I already have
there
a
it is.
super suit. See it?
Yeah.
With the it's like the Avengers kind of a thing, or Marvel, whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're all dressed up in super suits. They're going to come in, going to take it all. Hey, speaking of Matt Dorito, listen up, guys. He has a charity called Star Treatments. And I think it's, Jared, look it up for me. Tell me if it's startreatments.org. I want to give the correct. But it's a very, very cool charity. It's basically a children's cancer charity. But what he does and what he organizes, go ahead.
Yes, startreatments.org.
Startreatments.org. And probably one of the saddest things in modern times or in our world is kids who have cancer. And oftentimes these kids, they have to travel great distances to get their treatments. And so what Matt did, being a rocker like he is, he figured, hey, all these tour buses that take rock and roll stars around the country, often they're just sitting not used because they're, it's off season or whatever. What if we could put together a foundation where these kids that have to travel, and most of the time their parents are going with them, and obviously their parents are going with them. So what if we could make it easy on the family, and we could pick them up in a rock and roll tour bus and take them to their treatment, and then after their treatment, when they're tired and not really feeling good and they just want to lay down and sleep and what have you, bring them home. Like, I think that'd be a fantastic idea. So Matt Dorito of Pop Evil came up with this charity, and it's called startreatments.org. And if you feel the need, or if you feel motivated, I want you guys to go over there to Star Treatments and just check them out. You may feel that you can donate a little bit of money to them. And something that Matt does is if you would like to shoot, he's a gun guy. If you listen to Student of the Gun, you know that. But when he's traveling around, he'll make time to shoot with one-on-one shooting sessions with fans and so forth. But the trick is that you have to make a donation to the charity. And you're like, well, I have to make a donation to charity. I'll twist my arm. So, but if you'd like to shoot with a rocker and you'd like to, share some money with a fantastic organization, go ahead and check out startreatments.org. All right, we're still in the middle of our fontanasports.com/SOTG promotion. That's right. Go to fontanasports.com/SOTG. And when you do that, you can shop around for whatever it is you think you're going to need outdoor sports-wise and save yourself 10% just by, well, if you do the /SOTG, that automatically applies the 10% discount to everything you buy. That's pretty righteous, wouldn't you say? I would say that. Now, on Friday, during the morning mindset, I gave you guys a homework assignment. And if you paid attention, if you watch Morning Mindset on Friday and you listen to me, what I'm going to ask you right now is, did you do your homework? Yes or no? Gut check time, honesty time. Did you do your homework? And for those of you who are like, oh, you caught me. I actually didn't do my homework because I didn't watch the Morning Mindset video on Friday. Now, you can sit over in the corner and be ashamed of yourself, which you probably should do for not watching Morning Mindset. But let's just say you have a valid reason, not an excuse, okay, but a valid reason why you didn't watch Friday morning's Mindset. Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. Of course, it's a little late now because on Friday, what I told you guys was that over the long weekend, I wanted you to take a moment, to take some time in addition to relaxing or golfing or grilling out or whatever it was that you did with your family. Take some time to focus on your family's preparedness, whatever that happens to be, whether it's add a little bit of extra food to the emergency cabinet, whether it's, fill up or finish your Student of the Gun tub challenge, whether it's to buy some ammo, whether it's to take your family and do some training. Maybe this weekend you took your family out to the range and you said, hey, everybody, I want everyone to be tuned up. I want everyone to be confident. Because let's face it, dads are really good at practicing and training and so forth, and they just assume that the moms and the kids and the oldest daughter and the oldest son that they're hip. And they won't ask you. Often your wife and your teenage daughters, they won't ask to go to the range, but they want to. So what did you do this weekend to improve your family's preparedness? That was your homework assignment. And if you missed it, well, there you go. Get on it. What do you think, Jared?
I try not to think. It hurts
you try
my
not
brain.
to think it? Well, I want you to think while I'm sipping my coffee.
Okay, I'll sit here and I'll think while you're sipping your coffee. Okay, I did
you're
that.
a butthead.
I thunk.
Did you thunk it?
Yep, I thunk it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and thank all of our good friends, our friends at Brownells, brownells.com. You can shop for not just pieces and parts, but firearms and firearms accessories, emergency gear, you name it. If you're a gun person, even if you're not a gun person, Brownells has something for you. And you know what I did? The first three are in alphabetical order, and then SWAT Fuel screwed me up alphabetically. I don't know how that happened. So, B, C. Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A. And remember, Century Arms is the official sponsor of the Student of the Gun mobile app. And if you don't have that loaded up on your iPhone or your Android phone or your iPad yet, you really have no excuse other than you're lazy. Because it doesn't cost you anything, thanks to our friends at Century Arms. Duracoat, because life is too short to have an ugly gun. You can buy Duracoat products by clicking on the tab, the Gun Tat tab that's on the mobile app, or you can go to brownells.com, or you can go to lauerweaponry.com. You just get it everywhere. But the fact of the matter is, life's too short to have an ugly gun. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. You had that look on your face like there was something you wanted to say, but apparently the answer is no.
Me?
No, that other person who's
that you can
on
see.
the outside of the case. Is there someone else in here besides us?
Yes.
I don't think there is.
The shipping ogre is hiding somewhere.
Well, he's back. You know what the shipping ogre's doing? He is packing and packing and packing.
Good. That's good. If you guys, I think you posted the brownie to the Instagram already, didn't you?
Yeah. Are you guys liking Brownie? Brownie, the 50 BMG round. And he's the round on the town. And if you follow us on Instagram, Student of the Gun, Instagram/Student of the Gun, then you know. And if you don't, if you're sitting over there like, what is this guy talking about? Well, if you've got Instagram on your phone, look up Student of the Gun, and there you will see. You guys all know the elf on the shelf thing, right? I'm sure that you do, or at least you've heard about it. Well, we have Brownie, the 50 BMG round. And yeah, I asked Alex, I said, you know why it's Brownie, right? And she's like, I said, you know what BMG stand for? And she's like, Big Machine Gun? Close. BMG stands for Browning Machine Gun. There you go. So look for Brownie to be out on the town in the very near future, and start following us on our Instagram. All right, enough silliness. SWAT Fuel, why? Because it helps you with a sharper mind and a stronger body. And you can get SWAT Fuel. You can save money at SWATfuelstore.com by using the promo code SOTG2015. You're welcome. We're trying to save you money all over the place here. FrogLube.com is where you get Frog Lube products. It's green, it's minty fresh, it's a bio-based firearms lubricant, and it is extreme. All right, last but not least, our friends at Crossbreed Holsters. I am wearing my Super Tuck Deluxe right now. If you want to wear the most comfortable inside of the waistband holster you've ever tried, used, go to crossbreedholsters.com.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
All right, this story comes to us from Jared's absolute favorite news source. It's Reuters.com.
Reuters?
Yeah, exactly.
You like Reuters?
Reuters, uk.reuters.com. And the story's dateline Wednesday, August 31st, so it's pretty recent. Swiss tell EU hands off veterans' assault rifles. And this is in their world news section. You're like, what? Now, as you guys probably know, because you're hip cats in the Student of the Gun audience, there's very few countries on planet Earth that allow their citizens to possess weapons of war, actual self-loading rifles, and so forth. Very few of them. And we've got the United States of America, and you have Israel, and you have Switzerland. Now, I know a lot of you kids out there went to public school in the last 20 years. And the only thing, when I say Switzerland, you say cheese or chocolate, and that's pretty much all you know. But here's the deal. Switzerland is a neutral country. That's right. They declared their neutrality back in, I believe it was 1815, if memory is serving me right. And they have not participated in a war since that time. They stayed out of World War I. Good for them. They stayed out of World War II, and all the antagonist powers in Europe basically just went around them. You know, even Adolf Hitler didn't have the chutzpah to try and take over Switzerland. They just like, okay, you guys, you Swiss, you're cool, you're good. You just hang out over there. We're going to do our stuff, and you guys build your watches and your army knives and your cheese and chocolate, and you'll be good to go, right? So I've been to Switzerland. It is a beautiful country. I've been to Zermatt, Switzerland. And Zermatt, Switzerland, if you know anything about your geography, is right at the base of the Matterhorn. You're like, the Matterhorn? I've heard that name. Yeah. It's that great big mountain that kind of has a little bit of hook at the top of it. And then if you want to climb the Matterhorn, if you want to go up to the Matterhorn, ski the mountains around the Matterhorn, the place you stay is Zermatt. And anyway, so what are they talking about? Well, what are they talking about? Assault rifles and so forth. Well, like I said, if you know anything about student of the gun, if you are a student of the gun, the Swiss are armed people. As a matter of fact, most every physically fit adult male in Switzerland is expected as his duty as a citizen to be an armed member of, well, the National Guard, the militia, what have you. But let's see, the EU, which is run by socialist scumbags, and we've got Switzerland here. So how does this begin? The story begins like this. Friction between Switzerland and the European Union over the bloc, and that would be the European Union, plan to tighten gun control following a rise in militant attacks could turn into another serious snag in ties already tested by Swiss efforts to curb immigration. Now, Switzerland is not a signatory member of the EU, but they kind of met them halfway, and they're like, well, all right, we'll do some of your open border stuff, but well, the EU's like, hey, your people have guns, and guns are scary. You know what's scary, Jared? You know what's scary?
What?
7th century death cult monsters. So here we have the European Union, like good little socialist psychopaths that they are. So the 7th century death cult monsters that they've invited into their countries, into their continent, into their union, are lashing out against them and murdering their citizens. And so what is their solution? More gun control. Hey, EU, you already have gun control. Someone explained to me how gun control saved all the lives of those people in Nice, France. Hang on, I'm thinking about it. Really? So, tighten gun control efforts following attacks by militants like the little Johnny Jihad that got on the train in Germany and started hacking and slashing. The other Johnny Jihad who killed the pregnant woman on the street. Was it in Munich, Jared? I think it was somewhere in Germany. The ones running around France. The guy, little Muslim missionary in vacation land there in the south of France. I think it was right at the base of the Alps. Stabbing a woman and her 3 daughters because he was offended. Didn't shoot him. He stabbed him. Yeah. Little jihadists running around England, killing their soldiers in the middle of the day, just hacking their heads off in the street. They didn't hack them off with guns. Little Johnny Jihad running around, a suburban London neighborhood, screaming Aloha snack bar, cutting off grandma's head. Somebody explained to me, someone in the EU explained to me how more gun control is going to stop the Muslim missionaries from killing you. But we have a 3-ring binder that says what to do after everything you've done previously was wrong. Call for more gun control. Well, Switzerland's like, I don't think so, hippies. Let's continue on here. It says, the proposed directive, which applies to non-EU member Switzerland, was only because it is part of Europe's Schengen open border system, has raised hackles amongst the Swiss who resent intervention from Brussels. Christoph Blocher, a leading voice of the Swiss right and a Eurosceptic, says Switzerland should consider abandoning Europe's Schengen system of passport-free travel. Amen. If the Swiss people rejected the proposed measure in a referendum. So what they're basically trying to do is they're trying to come up with a Swexit, but they don't really have to exit. They're just going to come up with a referendum that says the EU can go fornicate itself. Drafted after militants killed here we go. The new plan, drafted after militants killed scores in attacks in Paris last year. The EU plans on gun control aim to curb online weapons. And here it goes. What in the world are these lunatic idiots talking about? The plan to curb online weapon sales and impose more restrictions on assault rifles.
How's the health of your little dammit doll there?
Actually, this thing it's in really good condition considering how much it has been beaten. So, all right, hang on, European Union, you socialist lunatic morons. So what you're telling me now is that the death cult missionaries in Paris, that they went online and they just went online shopping, like they went to Amazon.gun and ordered up assault rifles and had them shipped in little brown smiley boxes to their houses? That's what you're trying to tell me? Oh, well, no. The actual weapons were funneled to them by a support state, by terrorists in the Middle East who got them to them by illegal means. Oh, you mean they broke the law to get the guns that they used to murder all those people in Paris? Yeah, they did. Who are they? Who does this apply to? How many people in Europe, in France, Germany, England, Brussels, how many of them have self-loading magazine-fed rifles or submachine guns? None. Okay. All right. This is, wow. Online weapon sales. Maybe they could talk to the director of the FBI in the United States and ask him if you can buy guns online and have them shipped directly to your house, and have the director of the FBI say, I'm not really sure. Well, could you find out, moron? Boy, that guy's he's a winner, huh? The current FBI director. Woo, boy, that makes you proud to be an American right there. But here we go. But the initial proposal provoked an outcry in Switzerland because it meant a ban on the long Swiss tradition of ex-soldiers keeping their assault rifles. That's right. Do you know why no one has screwed with Switzerland for 200 years? Why all the even the communists, even when basically all of Eastern Europe was under the thumb of the Soviet Union, even then they didn't screw with Switzerland. Hitler didn't screw with Switzerland. Nobody has screwed with Switzerland for 200 years. Maybe it's because not only do they have an army and their country is mountainous, maybe it's because everybody who was in the army has a rifle and ammunition. And what's the number one picture here? The top picture in this story is participants fire their infantry assault weapons during a traditional Reitling-Schießen, or Reitli shooting, a competition in Reitli. Yeah, you know what? I saw when I was traveling through Switzerland by train, I saw rifle ranges. Not only do they own these guns, but they actually go out and, I know, Jared, you're probably going to fall out of your chair when I say this, they go out and train with them. What? They have rifles and they go out and train with them?
Wow.
That's crazy talk. You're just crazy. So I was telling your brother about this story yesterday, Jared. And he said, well, what are they going to do if Switzerland says, no, we're not going to play your game? What are they going to do? They're going to like send
Cry to America.
They're going to send the crossing guards with their road guard vests, with their lime, their safety green vests. They're going to get a bunch of en place. They're going to import a bunch of en bobbies with their safety patrol vests, and they're going to march. Are they going to march into Switzerland and demand that they surrender their guns? Good luck with that, European Union. Brothers and sisters, if you speak the English and you're listening to me in Switzerland, tell these European socialists to sod off. I think I could say that on. I probably couldn't say that on the BBC, but I can say it here. Tell them to sod off. Now, you want to hear something else cool going on in Europe? This one here makes me giggle. This makes me laugh. So, everybody knows that Apple is run by a bunch of socialist hippies, right? We know it. We admit it. Let's admit it. Apple is primarily run by a bunch of socialist hippies. And I mean, look at their recent their decision to change that little antique-y looking revolver to a squirt gun because gun emoji is violent and dangerous and whatever. It's ridiculous. So we're all on the same team that Apple is run by California leftists. Okay. This story comes to us from BusinessInsider.com. Eurosceptics, I love that. That's the new terminology. Anybody who doesn't want to be part of this failed social experiment called the European Union, then they have become a Eurosceptic. Eurosceptics are salivating at the idea of Irexit. That'd be Ireland leaving the European Union after Apple's shock 13 billion euro EU-Ireland tax bill. And you're saying to yourself, do what now? Yeah, after Brexit, Irexit, ? Some Eurosceptics hope so and are using Apple's massive Irish tax bill to push their argument for an Irish exit from the European Union. And it says, to recap, on Tuesday, and this story was dateline August 31st again, on Tuesday, the European Commission, the EU's executive arm, ruled. They ruled. Apparently they're kings now. They issued a ruling that Apple's tax arrangement in Ireland amounted to a, quote, sweetheart state aid. And it has ordered, listen to the chutzpah, the huevos on these little socialist ninny scumbags in Brussels. They have ordered the country to claw back a whopping 14 billion euros, which is 11.1 billion pounds, or, if you're keeping score, $14.5 billion in back taxes from the California-based technology giant. All right, let me take a real quick pause for you kids. What you may not know, because you guys probably don't have offshore corporations, but Ireland, for many years, going back probably 20 to 30 years or so, has been very attractive to outside investment, specifically United States investment, because of their very friendly tax laws. And so outside investors have come to Ireland and set up shop and so on and so forth. I know a person who had an Irish passport because of the positive Irish tax laws. So, but the EU is all about socialism and basically the equal distribution of misery. So they can't have that. Well, Apple, predictably, is furious, arguing that the European Commission's decision is an effort to rewrite Apple's history in Europe, ignore Ireland's tax laws, and upend the international tax system in the process. And I say, duh.
Well, Apple, the corporation, just needs to pay their fair share, and they should just
That's
suck
right.
it.
Why are these good hippies not paying their fair share? Thank you for bringing that up, Jared. Oh, we both reached for our coffee cups at the same time. Do we
have the same cup?
Oh, it's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, that's
You're
crazy.
freaking me out, man.
Well, it's too bad you guys can't see it.
I thought you kids would appreciate that. So you have the leftists who run Europe are screwing the leftists who run Apple. That's what you get.
Yeah.
That's what you get. I'm sorry, Apple. You can't have it both ways. You can't be peace, love, dope, socialist hippies and not expect the socialists in Europe and everywhere else in the world to screw you over. Yeah, exactly. So I thought you guys would appreciate that. Here's what I see personally, what I see the European Union right now. The European Union, to me, is like the Soviet Union in the very late 80s and going into the early 90s. It was this wonderful social experiment that was going to make everything equal and everyone happy, and unicorn farts were going to fill the air. It was going to be a wonderful thing. It was all a lie. It was all based on stupidity and the fact that human animals are lazy, don't want to take responsibility for themselves, and when you come along and you promise them free crap, most of them will take it. And that's what they did. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be so great. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for any country in Europe. You're stupid. You're lazy. You're selfish. You can't have a country that guarantees everyone 3 months a year vacation or 2 months a year vacation or whatever and not have this nonsense. Oh, it'll be wonderful. We'll open the borders to everyone, and everyone can go back and forth and up and down and side to side. How's that working out for you? Well, not really. And they're trying like hell to hide the fact that the 7th century death cult monsters that they invited into their country they're just tearing it apart from the inside. And the people are finally fed up, but the people of Europe have been so acquiescent, and they've been so soft and weak that I don't know if they're ever going to get it back. They're probably, I would say that Europe is like an alcoholic, and they haven't hit rock bottom yet. It's coming. The European Union rock bottom is coming, but it hasn't hit yet. So stay tuned, kids. Stay tuned. All right, it is Tuesday, and because it is Tuesday, well, we have a quiet time moment brought to you by SilencerShop.com.
As kids, we learned growing up, if you were going to hunt wabbit,
you had to be very, very quiet.
At SilencerShop.com, that's what we do. We make guns very quiet with state-of-the-art suppressor technology for every caliber you've got in your safe. From .22s up to the big boys. Minimal noise, less recoil. Higher velocity, better accuracy. Do you honestly need another reason to get a silencer?
Oh, ask we Webbit.
Get the facts and get suppressed at SilencerShop.com. Making the world a quieter place.
All right. It's time for some quiet time, and you know, because you're a dedicated student of the gun, that one of my favorite suggestions for quiet time is that you get a book. Now, Kindle books are nice and they're convenient, but the fact of the matter is there's nothing quite like a good old Dead Tree version. And this week, well, during the last 2 weeks, I guess, or maybe 3, we've been promoting and delivering the Patriot Fire Team Manual. And this is the current book is over 260 pages long. And what I wanted to talk about this week is how to read the Patriot Fire Team Manual. And I said, Paul, you're too late. I already know how to read, or I don't. That's why I buy audiobooks. But either way, now I'm not talking about how to read. I'm talking about how to read the manual. Step number 1, before you even open it, find yourself a highlighter, a pencil, a pen, a red pen, I don't care. Whatever your favorite way of highlighting and taking notes is. Now, if you're a free man or a free woman, I would suggest also finding a fine hand-rolled cigar, tobacco product there, and get yourself a chair, get yourself some quiet space. Find yourself a place where no one is going to screw with you or molest you for half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour.
Speaking of cigars, do you want to meet at the Hard Rock tonight?
Well,
For
Shane's
some cigars.
Yeah, Shane's coming in. He's supposed to come over.
He could join.
He could join us probably. Yeah. So. Sure.
Cool.
Sure. We should. That's a definite thing we should do. Now, if you're not into cigars, that's fine. Brew yourself a pot of coffee, good coffee, because life is too short to drink crappy coffee, or an adult beverage. I don't care. But when you open up the book, and this is the main thing I wanted to tell you guys, I want you to write in this. I will not feel bad if you scribble up my book with chicken scratches and so on and so forth. I want you to do it. Now, a lot of you folks, as you're listening to the sound of my voice, have either gotten your book, it has either arrived, or it will be arriving very, very, very soon. As fast as a little postman can get the book to you. Now, the Patriot Fire Team Manual it's not just the what is a Patriot Fire Team. It covers the what, it covers the why, but it also covers the how. Now, many of you who are familiar with the original manuscript that we did about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, that was mostly about the what and why.
We've got people like right now that are like, well, how do I get the book? So before he gets too far into it, I know he looks like he's going to dig into the book a little bit. So go to patriotfireteam.com and you can order your book there.
Okay. Yeah, patriotfireteam.com. Well, the Patriot Fire Team Manual is not just about, it's not just about what it is or about why you should do it or why it's valuable. It's also about the how to. Now, the when and the where are easy. Now in America. That's the when and where. Now, for those of you who have a really bad habit of skipping over forewords and introductions, I used to be in that bad habit. I was so excited about getting into the book that I would just skip right over the foreword and skip right over the introduction. Don't do it. Go back to the introduction, and if you've done that, at the last page of the introduction, it says, everywhere that you see a question mark in a box, that is a study guide for you. I put those in there as a study guide, and what I want you to do, remember I said you needed to have a pencil or pen? You said, yes, Paul, you did say that. When you encounter one of those little question marks, and they're like Easter eggs, they're scattered throughout the book, what I want you to do is I want you to either A, write down a question that you are seeking an answer to. Why did you buy the book? Well, I bought the book because I was hoping to blank. Write it down. Actually take the time to physically write it. Or you say, I don't have any questions. All right, then fine. What I want you to do then, in that case, if you don't have a question, what I want you to do is I want you to write something that you learned, a piece of information, a golden nugget, a gem that you were able to mine out of the pages of the book. That is your how to read the Patriot Fire Team Manual. And I felt like I really need, I know you guys, you men, I know how you are. You grab it, you flip it open, you find chapter 1, and you just drive in. Boom, you go. You don't read the introduction, you don't read the foreword. But that was done very deliberately because this book is supposed to be a study guide. It is supposed to stimulate thought in that gray matter that you've got sitting up, hanging out on top of your shoulders there. Okay? All right, kids, that's it for Student of the Gun Radio for Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, well, you know where to go. No, not there. Go to P.O. Box 405, Boulder, Colorado for a complete refund of today's purchase price. We're going to be back tomorrow. Let me see what's tomorrow's show notes. In addition to being SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk Day, because it's Wednesday, Oh, the Mizzou football coach has instituted a handgun ban. What? I know. I had the same reaction, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. But until then, remember, you're a beginner once, but you should indeed be a student for life.